Okay, so what you came here for, some of the different blocks of 52, and we'll start with some of the more obvious and some of the more well known. So first of which we're going to look at is called skull and bones, or skull and crossbones, and essentially we're making a pirate-esque flag of ourselves here. We're using both of our arms to draw an opponent into hitting our elbows, ideally, or if not, we're entrapping it before we do something else. So a traditional skull and bones, apologies for the wind blowing my papers, traditional skull and bones, from this guard here, a punch comes in, a roll, and I aim to spike it on that elbow or move that punch away using the forearm. So I could spike it or move it, following which I can strike over the top. Here, here. So from this guard, here we do our skull and bones, and we can do that with a lead hand against a jab, or we can do it with a rear hand against a cross. Either way, it works really well. You can do it against grabs, so if a grab happens on your lapels, you can move that grab and then fire something else. With the skull and bones, you tend to end up with a good position to fire an overhand or a straight thereafter. You end up in a good, combatively sound situation. And these can be fluid. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So skull and bones position, very versatile. Can be used against grabs, used against straights. Now you could even use it against hooking punches if you angle your body. So again, against a straight, I can do it here. Against a hook, I might smash into it that way and then punch you. So again, it's a very versatile technique to damage incoming fists, to disrupt incoming grabs, and to essentially cause pain and disruption to your opponent. But again, always think what you're going to follow it through with. It's no good just being able to do this all day. You need to be able to go from skull and bones into a cross, skull and bones into a headbutt, skull and bones into going out that door. Again, always think of your next move, thinking of space, weapons and buddies. Okay, next one we're going to look at rob the bank. Now I love this one, I love the name, and essentially this replicates the handkerchief or the mask you'd have if you were a bank robber. So in rob the bank, we're covering our face with our elbow like so. And again, we're looking to either spike a fist, so punches coming in, we're looking to spike it on this. We could move that fist out the way. So again, the elbow moves the fist, giving me the space to fire something down the middle, or indeed I could be jamming into the opponent, like so. So every defense is also an offense. If you think of skull and bones, that can operate with the same integrity as a tie elbow if I want it to. So it could be the first one's a block, the second one's a strike. Block, strike, block, strike. Same with rob the bank. Could be block, then strike, and I drive my body weight in. Block, strike. But rob the bank, like so. Drop the body weight, drop the head, drive your weight into the opponent. Crash that fist, move that fist, or jam that into your opponent's neck, into their sternum, into their chin, depending on the height difference. You've got all of those options. I like a double rob the bank as well, like so. So one covers my body, one covers my face. That's a personal preference because it allows me to cover vital organs here, my command center, my chin here, relatively easy. But it's the same principle. 1, 2, that position, 1, 2. When I do it like so, or double-handed, another blow that it opens up from traditional bare knuckle boxing is the pivot blow, which is essentially a horizontal hammer fist. 1, 2, 1, 2. So again, this is where you can flow into some more unorthodox striking. There are no real rules in 52. So if I do rob the bank, I might then do a pivot blow and then a cross. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. From here. You've got all of those options available to you, but rob the bank, I'd say an important prescient part of this is don't be passive, don't be too upright. Drive, spear that into the opponent. And again, that pivot blow could also be a grab. So I do rob the bank, I could do a pivot blow. It could be me grabbing your clothing, pulling you to the side to fire that shot. So rob the bank, grab, pull, hit. Rob the bank, grab, pull, hit. Or it could be moving a bystander out the way. We talked about groups. Rob the bank, move this bloke out the way. I don't know why he's there to hit that one. You've got all of those options available to you. Single rob the bank, double rob the bank. I like this one. You don't see many other people do it, but I find this leaves me pretty safe for one grab, one hit, double hits. You know, makes me feel a bit safer. But rob the bank, drive, impression, spear, you know, at worst, it damages the opponent's fist. At best, doesn't matter about the fist because you've driven that elbow right into something that hurts. Okay? Then we're going to look at the robot. Now the robot's used against uppercuts to the bodies and essentially runs like this. So one hand essentially is blocking the uppercut like so. The other, I'm trying to guide the elbow. So I've got two levels of defense here. I've got the elbow, and if they catch the uppercut on the elbow, it's bad news for them. And in its least aggressive form, I'm stopping that uppercut coming because of the downward pressure here. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, these are against multiple, so if you think of shank attacks, if you think of someone grabbing you and launching multiple uppercuts, it's there for multiple uppercuts. You know, it's unlikely you're going to have the speed to go from on guard stance to that into something else. I might have to do this for a couple of seconds, take a flurry of hits, then drive some offense in. But again, we've got the robot, and again, moving the body with it. We don't just want to stay there passively. We want to be looking to spike using that elbow. We want to be covered, we want to be flexible before we do something else. So I might go robot, robot, 1, 2, 3. So robot, 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 robot. Again, you've got those options available to you. Robot into strikes. Okay, then we're going to look at uptown. Uptown's very, very simple. We're doing small inward circular parries. But again, we're doing these against flurries. If you imagine a traditional bum rush attack, people are throwing bombs with frequency. So again, we're parrying to the outside and scooping them in. Scoop them in. So uptown, we're scooping in. At a juncture we find right, we then might move into an offensive block. So uptown into skull and crossbones. Uptown, skull and crossbones. We might go uptown, cross, headbutt. We might go uptown, rob the bank. Again, these are flexible flowing systems. You should be able to move easily from the robot, rob the bank, skull and crossbones, jab, hook, jab, or whatever you want to do. So again, melding your Western boxing with your 52 hand destructive blocks. And remember, every block is also a potential strike. We then look at cover the bullet. I really like cover the bullet, and essentially it's this. A punch comes in, I guide that hand into a spiking elbow. So from here, say a punch is coming off this angle, I guide it in and spike it off that elbow. People are pretty savvy and they won't punch elbows for very long. Sometimes you need to help them along the way. So from here, cover the bullet, the punch comes in, I guide it into this elbow, guide it into this elbow, guide it into that elbow, guide it into that elbow. Again, it's shaping and moving typically a straight blow into a pointed elbow strike. Cover the bullet. And again, think of your striking options from here. Cover the bullet. I could then go into a downward hammer fist into a straight shot here. 1, 2, 3. Again, this works because I can be in a confined space. Imagine I'm in a corridor. I can't throw too many hooks. I can't do too much jazzy footwork. What I can do is in this small telephone box space, cover, hit, hit, and move forward, always driving forward if I can. Cover, hit, hit. Cover, hit, hit. So that's cover the bullet, moving into hammer fist and a straight shot. Again, 52 blocks is there to be played with. It's playful, it's personal, it's different. My 52 hand blocks will look very different to yours, to everyone else's, because my knowledge of systems is different to everyone else's. So again, experiment and play with that. That was cover the bullet. We then look at revolving door. Revolving door is this. I do diagonal elbows to move punches out the way. So if you imagine straight punches coming in, I'm rolling this. Again, always making sure I come back to guard. Roll, roll. Again, I can do this 1, 2, 3. I could go 1, 2, 3. Again, we're covering, we're taking the punch that's coming in, we're moving it, we're deflecting it, and then we're going to strike. And again, the great use of the revolving door is I deflect. I can then use a bare knuckle boxing technique called the chopper, so a downward back fist like so. So revolving door into the chopper, revolving door, chopper, straight, revolving door, chopper, straight, revolving door, chopper, straight. So again, the revolving door techniques are really good and really fluid, and again, they can be offensive. Yep. I can strike and then be offensive, or I can be defensive. I can deflect, strike, attack, all using the revolving door principles.